Alright fellas, welcome back to another episode, and today, it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video, and just been really busy, not really catching many fish, but just been busy. I do got some videos planned for you guys, so go ahead, and if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. I do some fishing videos, tips videos, and today is another tip video, and that is how to keep your fish alive in the summer months. It is hot. We have been having those 90 to 95 degree days, if not hotter. Here in East Tennessee, we experience extreme humidity. It can never be just hot or warm. It has to be miserably hot, like the hinges of the gates of hell, or we have winter for 6 months. It's ridiculous. But today, going over how to take care of your fish during the summer months. More in particular, how I take care of my fish in the summer months, whether I'm fishing deep or just shallow in the summer. There's still fish out shallow in the summer. Ever since I've been doing this, I have not lost a fish due to me either catching them deep or the warm water, or most of the time if I stick a fish in a gill or stomach hook them, if I can get the hook out, I can save them with this method right here. Now there is times that you can't save a fish, whether you stick it in the tongue, it swallows the hook, or you rip its gills out whenever you hook it or whatever, and that happens in bass fishing, that happens in tournament fishing. Today, what I'm going to go over is going to save you money, because you're not going to be spending all kinds of money on ice, like what everybody thinks. You just throw ice in there and they'll be fine. Yeah, it helps out a lot, but the main thing is how you use your ice and everything else. But a few things that you need for this to work. You need the old trusty G-juice. You need a fizzing needle for those deep fish, and also one of these little clips that clip on their tails, on their fins or whatever, to help keep them upright in the live well. Some Mountain Dew for those fish that it happens you hook in the gut, or just somewhere that you hook that's where they're bleeding, and ice. And in particular, I use these 32-ounce Gatorade bottles. I use about 6 to 8 of them. That's usually what gets me through an 8-hour day, especially during the summer. They're 32 ounces. You fill them up with water and you freeze them solid. It lasts longer than ice, like a bag that you buy from the store, and it's cheaper. It saves you money. You buy a Gatorade when you drink it out on the boat, put water in it, and bada bing bada boom, there you go. You also need a properly working live well with an aerator and a recirculating pump and all that other stuff. But I'm gonna go over step by step what I do to take care of my fish. And once again, guys, like I said, I have not lost a fish doing this method unless I foul hook the fish. I'm not gonna tell you guys to do it if it does not work for me. I'm gonna start from the morning of until weigh in on how I take care of these fish. The first thing that I do when I get to the lake, and when I put my boat in the water, is I plug the little drain plug in my live well. I do not want the water that I'm getting ready to treat and get ready for these fish to get out of the boat, let's say. I plug that little drain tube and I start filling my live wells up. And once I get my live wells full, I automatically switch my live well valve over from auto or fill to recirculate. Now once I get my live wells filled up to however much I want, I have a 30-gallon live well. I get it just below that little drain plug, about 2 inches below it, and that's roughly 30 gallons of water in my live well. Then I immediately throw 2 of these big ice bottles in my live well. What that does is that 82 to 84 degree water temperature or higher, that automatically starts cooling it down. Now once these things melt completely, I take them out, throw them in my cooler, grab one more, and throw it back in. More about that later. What those ice bottles do is it gets that 84, 85 degree water down to a comfortable 74, 76 area for those fish. Once I throw those bottles in there, I go ahead and put my recommended amount of G-juice in my live well. Like I said, I have a 30-gallon live well. I use half an ounce of G-juice. You can use just a little bit more if you want. What the G-juice does, it like it says on the back of the bottle, it gets all the bad stuff out of the water, out of the lake water, and whenever you start catching fish, they get stressed out. This G-juice helps them calm down. It helps them, produce that slime and everything from whenever you're handling the fish. And also that G-juice, it gets rid of all the chlorine and all the bad stuff in the water, and in what's the residue, all the stuff that you have on this bottle, like the glue and all that stuff. It helps get rid of that, and it helps the fish fight it. Now, if you are like me and you love fishing deep, you will want to use these right here. Now, what I do when I catch a fish deep is I automatically throw it in the live well, and I do not put this or a fizz needle anywhere near it. In the first 10 to 15 minutes, you can tell if that fish is going to be giving you issues, going to want to be, rolling on its side or whatever. What I do first is I put some of these little clips on their tails, on their bottom fins, and that'll help sit them upright and help them kind of relieve that, air bladder pressure. They call it barometric barotrauma or something like that. And it's from when a fish is caught from deep water. People think you have to be catching them in 25, 30 foot of water for that to happen. I've had it happen in 12 foot of water. It's just that those fish are conditioned to be in 12 foot of water, and whenever you bring them up, they're fighting, they're stressed out, and they're wanting to, they don't know how to relieve it. And what it essentially does is it suffocates them. Yes, fish can't breathe, but like their air bladder swells, it constricts their heart, their blood flow, and they eventually die. If they keep throwing these off, I will try to, hook a 1/2 ounce jig or 3/4 ounce jig in their fins. And if they keep on throwing that and they're still wanting to roll over to their side, I will fizz them. I fizz them while they're in my live well because of this right here. This G juice right here helps them, heal faster whenever you puncture them with the fizz needle. I don't know exactly all the specs on the fizz needle. I usually go through the mouth whenever I fizz a fish. You go in between their crushers, like in between their crushers, just right above their throat, their gullet. And you'll puncture it, you'll hear the air come out, you lay them in the water, you'll see some bubbles come out, and what I typically do is I let that fish be neutrally buoyant. I don't let it sink, I don't want it to float, I let it be neutrally buoyant, that way it can do whatever it wants to do. And again, that G-juice will help that puncture wound from this right here, help them heal a lot faster and keep them calm while you are doing that. Now once you start catching fish, more fish, I automatically turn my recirculating pumps, my aerators on, and I leave them on. That's going to continue to recirculate this G-juice and that nice cool water from these ice packets that you have. I typically start out with 2 ice packets like I said earlier, and usually from about 10 to 11 o'clock I add 1 more ice for every hour. And like I said, I usually bring 6 to 8 with me. I use all of them. I use them all throughout the day, and what that does is that just, once again, it keeps that water cool, because when you get to the heat of the day, that water wants to warm up in your live well because it has nowhere to go, and the sun beating down on your boat. That's where this ice comes in a big play, and once again, it saves you money by putting it in these bottles. Now, worst case scenario is when you hook a fish in a gill, tongue, or something like that. Tongue is one of the most difficult things to keep a fish alive. It depends on how bad you hook them, of course, on any of them, but if you can get the hook out clean without ripping their gills, their tongue, their intestines, their throat, or whatever, if you can get it out without ripping that, you want to use this right here, this Mountain Dew. Any citric drink, Mountain Dew seems to work the best for me. What you do is like say if you hook them in the gill or whatever, you take a little bit of this Mountain Dew, you open it up, and you just splash 2 or 3 little splashes on them. And what that does is that cauterizes that wound. It stops the bleeding. I don't know how. G-juice does the same thing, but this Mountain Dew, it does it so much better and so much faster, in my opinion. Of course, you don't want to pour nothing but Mountain Dew in your live well, because that's obviously not bad, whenever you put stuff like that in there. But this G-juice right here is proven to relax those fish, keep them calm, all the other great stuff. But that is it. That is how I take care of my fish. Everything you need, is right here. G-juice, ice, Mountain Dew, a properly working live well, a fizz needle, and these little clips. Those clips in the fizz needle, once again, is if you're fishing deep, which is how most of the tournaments are won around my area, is deep during the summer. But I hope you guys found this useful. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on all my social media, and until next time, catch 'em big.